You know how this goes, dudes. You should pause the video right now and order this Boker. That's right, just order it up. If you don't, it could be gone. I suspect it will double in value. You heard me right. Double in value easily after it is sold out at Blade HQ. Mark my words. We're selling it for stupid cheap. I'll talk about that more in a second. But you know what to do. Pause the video, come back, order as many as you want, knock yourself out. It is an investment, but more importantly, it is a celebration of the Nutnfancy project lifestyle and apparently of earthquakes. You heard me right, earthquakes. At this point, I think the UUSATRG and the Nutnfancy project, TNP, should join up. We need to create a dialogue to be a team together. Oh, you don't know what the UUSATRG stands for? Well, of course, it is the University of Utah's Seismology and Active Tectonics Research Group. Come on, man, you didn't know that? yeah, see, there it is, UUSATRG. Yeah, they should join forces with the Nutnfancy project. At the very least, subscribe to both of my channels, A channel, B channel, in YouTube. Join my TNP Patreon feed. The only reason I keep doing all of this, literally, it is the only reason. Join up at Patreon, what was it, UUSATRG? And here's why. Because it seems like every time I come out with a special edition Nutnfancy knife, another freaking earthquake hits. It happened with this knife, issued about a month and a half ago. Here comes the beautiful Line Steel ROK Rock, number 1 of 75. Awesome satin blade, brown finish. This is a higher end, much more expensive blade than what we are going to talk about in this video. These sold out within a day easily, and they're commanding much higher prices. They usually do that. And I haven't signed the back of this one yet. I will, I promise you. And an earthquake hit the day I came out with this knife. Well, at least when I went down to Blade HQ to sign the blades for about 75 random purchasers. I just picked them out. I went down there. I spent hours engraving them free of charge. I didn't add any cost to those guys. It was just kind of an added value that I did with a Line Steel Rock. And a 5.3 earthquake, if I'm remembering right, hit Utah that morning. I was like, whatever. You know, my place is still standing. I'm going down to Blade HQ and signing those blades. So earthquake tied to this blade. I called it the earthquake blade. And then we had a 4.5 hit this morning in Utah again, corresponding to the release of this Boker Plus. Are you ready? Boker Plus Kalashnikov blade. And by the way, this is going to break new ground, guys. Get ready to freak your cones. It turned out so fabulous. Here comes Earthquake Blade Mark II in the Nutnfancy project. The Hawkbill Kalashnikov. Nice. Did I shock you? Good. I'm glad you're shocked. I can't believe it, Nutnfancy. You came out with a Hawkbill blade? Yes, absolutely. Here's why. I've done a lot of this blade style, and I will do it in the future. A drop point, a clip point, I just love them. They're so functional. They're awesome. But the honest truth is, these are collectibles. Whether you're a TNPer or a knife investor, and there's a lot of knife investors that are going to be purchasing this knife. They don't care about TNP. All they know is it's going to go way up in value, and they're buying them. So you are competing against that guy. And he may add 5 to his cart. I'm not sure we're going to limit them. I'll talk to Jake at Blade HQ. He's the one that helped me with this project and that project. Who knows? But you are competing with those guys. Okay? And they're going to sell them to other collectors, or they're going to put it in their own collections. And it's not going to be used, is my point. Which is a little bit sad. A little bit. Like, this is number 1 of 75. I mean, this one is worth a lot of money. Probably double at this point from what it was posted for at Blade HQ. Especially after I sign it. It's an investment. It's sad in the fact that it's not going to see use and it's not going to give enjoyment to the person who bought it. Now, the upside to that is it is an investment. It can get money. It will retain value. I really predict, even through economic hardship, these knives are going to hold their value and go up. If you know, past performance is any indicator, like I said before, the reason I went with a Hawkbill is because here's the bottom line: it looks freaking awesome. How's that for honesty? It looks freaking awesome. It's a collectible blade. I've established that. It's going to go into a collection. Why not make it look awesome? That's why. And it's different. It's different from what I've done before. Another case in point. Here comes a Nutnfancy project. Lightning out the front. Look at this, dudes. Oh, quad zero. Quad zero. I haven't even signed this one yet. That's weak, Nutn. I will. I promise I will. This knife has gone way up in value. It has. And this was another affordable auto knife issued years ago. Maybe it was last year. I forget. The Lightnings are awesome. A lot of guys are using their Lightnings because they're not super expensive. But they do celebrate the Nutnfancy project, where we have come together over the past 14 years. And that's what really the knife is about. But here again, we see a standard clip blade, hollow ground in this one, two-tone, which is very cool. I did it with this one as well. Very functional, very first cool and second cool for the coloration. But I wanted to do something different. I did poll my TNP Patreon friends, and they did tell me their preferences. I did put the Hawkbill in as one of the polling questions, and I said, hey, which blade would you prefer to have? And I listened to them, and I very gratefully thank them for their feedback. I do use them frequently as a sounding board. I think they're TNP elite. I listen to what they have to say. They give me lots of recommendations for content. No, I don't need any more. I don't. I am overloaded with content ideas. I'm never at a loss for content. But I use them as a sounding board. In the end, we went with a Hawkbill because it's just bad A. It just looks cool. Now, I will say, in my previous KRVs over the years, I said, hey, I don't EDC a Hawkbill. I'll stick with that. I don't, because I think the Hawkbill excels for what it's made for. It's made for an accelerated cut in the reverse curvature right here. So it cuts really good, like rope, string, anything that will come into this, this portion of the blade right here. And it's also an outstanding defensive knife. Karambits are, any Hawkbill is, they are nasty in that philosophy of use. I think they're more purpose-oriented, focused towards that, and maybe I wouldn't grab this as my first choice to do food prep, I don't know, open a package, even though this part here would do great. I think of it more as a defensive blade. If you look at Marshall Bladecraft folks that are really into this, I've talked about it a lot over the years. They have a whole philosophy of how the blade is employed, how you train with it. Lots of interesting stuff out there if you care about that. For me, in this Boker Kalashnikov Hawkbill TNP edition, I did it primarily, admittedly, for second cool. That it just looks cool. Okay? Let me know what you think. I think it is insane. Now look at this. When it folds too, it's still carryable. Like other Hawkbill blades, you're going to have like a bulge coming out of the handle, but I don't think it's outlandish where you couldn't carry it. Right? Also, we strengthened the spring on this, so it comes out like that. When Jake and I were planning the project, there were a couple things I requested to have changed on the Kalashnikov that kind of annoyed me slightly. We talked to Boker, and lo and behold, they said, yeah, we can accommodate those requests. One of them was a stronger spring. Not that the normal Kalashnikovs were, I don't know, weak in that department, and I do have one by way of reference. An ugly dark green black blade spear point. I used to have like 8 of these, and I gave them all away to TNP Patreon members. They're gone. This is the only one I have left. So did you see that? How it kind of came out? Granted, I have gloves on, but this button, you got to really dig in deep. See? It's depressed right here, and it hasn't fired yet. This is one of the things I want to get corrected. I was like, I want it to come out really fast. If you push it with the indentation or the tip of your thumb right here through my gloves, works fine. This one comes out stronger. You're not going to have any deployment problems with it, I don't think. It's just, I don't know. It seems like it's factory tuned to me. Factory tuned. Of course, you get the cast aluminum handle in TNP blue, a perfect color. They just nailed it. And this is always a, I don't know, a laborious thing to get right as we do these special edition knives. We go back and forth, back and forth. No, that's the wrong color. Yes, that's the right color. And on we go. We got it right with this one. This is TNP blue. No, I don't always go with blue, and I just showed you that ROK in brown. And I'm going to come out with some other colors too. But it is kind of a quintessential Nutnfancy project color, right? I mean, I've got a blue background. My TNP letters are blue. All the stuff you know. And then the rest is pure Kalashnikov, kind of. I'm going to show you a surprise here in just a second. So we have some serrations on the back. We have a lanyard hole right here. Again, cast aluminum handle. Flow-through construction. Two-tone hawk bill blade and Aus-8 steel. It comes sharp out of box. Each one, by the way, dudes, is going to be serial numbered. So this is what, 027? Right here, 027, and then I have another one on the table, signed. Haha, told you I'd sign one. This is 12. Look at that. That looks amazing. Very cool, and I really like the two-tone coloration with that. Have you paused the video and ordered yet? Don't delay. I'm warning you, they will sell out, even though we have more of these than the ROKs. We did. I was like, let's produce more so guys aren't skunked. I hear a lot of complaints, and so we are producing around, I think, 1,000 blades. 1,000 blades. But don't think those are just going to be there forever. Maybe a couple days, and they're gone. And then you'll be looking on eBay for this knife, which sold, by the way, for $55. Stupid cheap. I know, we should charge more. But it sold for $55, and maybe in 1 month you'll be seeing it easily for $110. If it's a signed version, if I end up doing signed versions, you'll see those go for $150, $175. See what I'm saying? Now, I'm just giving you the factual truth of what goes on with these blades. They hold their value and go up, 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 up. Okay, now I did say there were a couple things that I wanted to change about the Kalashnikov. We talked to Boker. They were very accommodating. Thank you so much, Boker. And again, huge, humble thank you to Jake at Blade HQ for helping me with this project. He's an awesome, awesome guy. He's the reason that we are able to do these projects. He puts a ton of work in them to make them a reality. Again, this has been in the works for over a year. So earthquakes, no earthquakes, pandemic, coronavirus, whatever. Yeah, we're releasing. One of the other things I addressed with Boker, I talked to Jake, like, we got to change the clip. I'm not going to do a Kalashnikov with this freaking wavy clip. If you go look at my reviews, I talked about how Wizard of Oz it is. I never liked the clip. It's wavy. It was way too long. Is it horrible? Yes, it's horrible. At this point, I just say it's horrible. It's just ridiculous. Here's what I did with the TNP Kalashnikov. Oh, dudes! First time ever in this knife series, a short, non-waved clip, adequate thickness to accept tactical pants, blackened, shorter. The Wizard of Oz factor is gone. So just like I did with a line steel ROK, and I may do this more and more in the future, I take a design and I fix its quirks if the manufacturer will work with me. Line steel did it with me. I mean, we changed the flipper tab on this and some other items, and it just turned out fabulous. Boker did that as well with this. You're not going to see any other Kalashnikovs with this clip. Maybe they copy the TNP version in the future and they just say, hey, let's just do it the way TNP did it. I don't know. That could happen. This, guys, is a freaking perfect clip. Perfect. Now, it's only on this side. As you can see, it's not really milled out to go to the other side. So if you're a lefty, Jardine, I don't know if this is the perfect one for you if you're going to carry it. But since you're probably going to put it on your nightstand and put it in your TNP blade collection, who cares? Oh, by the way, I've been getting photos from dudes like Private Schmuckatelli. They're in Patreon, and he gives me photos of all his TNP blades. He's the one that told me, hey, the cadets are going for $240 now, and he had to pay that to complete his collection. So he's got all the blue blades. I don't know if he has every single blade. Like, I don't know if he has one of these. This is a 2012 Microtech 007 James Bond Microtech TNP version of the Ultratech. Fantastic. And I actually sent this one back to get tuned by Microtech, and they did a fabulous job. It is really smooth. Thank you, Microtech. Really appreciate you guys. Love them. And maybe if this isn't your jam, you go, oh, you know, $55, that's not a good enough blade for me. Cool, I'll put some links to, not a TNP version, but to maybe another Microtech or something expensive. Oh, I know. I'll put a link to this one. Go buy that. That's like $400, dude. There you go. How many of these could you buy for one of those? Yeah, that's a beautiful knife, by the way. That's an automatic SOCOM Elite in purple, dated 7/19. Speaking of dates, this one was dated March, but because of everything going on with the coronavirus pandemic and just the craziness, again, I asked my TNP Patreon guys what they want to do. I said, this is about a week ago, I was like, do you want to release it later this summer? It's dated March, and they say, just release it ASAP, as soon as you can. And there were some guys that said, oh, you know, can you hold off on the release? But they were in the minority. We have some money tied up in these, quite a bit actually. And that was made manifest also by the earthquake. The earthquake tells me that it's the right time to release it. It's a confirmation. So when the earthquake hits, again, they're like, oh yeah, we're doing the right thing. So here it comes right now. The TNP Kalashnikov, laser engraved, serial numbered. Maybe I sign some, maybe I don't. Join TNP Patreon, by the way, and as a favor to TNP Patreon guys, I will sign their blades free of charge anytime I see them, and maybe I make it available for them to send it to a certain place, as long as they provide a prepaid envelope for its shipping back to them. That's the rule. Yep. In the background, by the way, blending in with the very beautiful blue handle of the Kalashnikov, a Russian name, of course, is a Russian fighter, a camo Su-27. I think this is an Su-27. Love the paint job on this thing. It was also featured in a recent tabletop review. And keep watching the show. You're going to see a lot more cool models, cool things coming your way, along with special edition knives. Oh my goodness, I just love this one. I hope you get one. I hope you get at least two, actually. Buy one for collecting, buy another for carrying. I briefly mentioned the philosophy of use. I do think this is a very substantial and effective self-defense blade. It carries deep. I forgot to mention once again and remind ourselves the jimping top side on the Kalashnikov is functional. I wouldn't give it top marks. I'll give it medium marks. But it locks in hand, and that is a very effective blade for the reasons I mentioned. I just came back, by the way, from Operation Valkyrie. That's right. Those videos will post first and in their entirety on TNP Patreon. I don't know if they'll make their way over to the main channel, B channel. We'll see, but if you're interested, join up. It's cheap and it's fun entertainment. Thanks for the support. Thanks for helping TNP be what it is. I really feel the videos are better than they've ever been. The brand is stronger than it's ever been. I've been doing this a long time. Again, I need your support to make it happen year after year. Here's a prototype of the Tenacious and the Rattlesnake camo. Speaking of special edition blades. And I do these blades, like I say, just as a celebration of the culture. That they go up in value and that they become ultra collectible is cool. I really am appreciative of that, and I'm grateful for that, but that's really not why I do them. And we're pricing this at just $55. I mean, $55, that's nothing. Thanks again.